Every platform has its OGs, and while none of the people that I'm going to list would I consider gangsters, they certainly were originals. With YouTube, for example, people like Jenna Marbles or Smosh certainly would count as originals. People that shaped the platform, for better or worse, at the birth of it very all. Switching platforms, TikTok has had its fair shares of OGs. And while the platform is still in its infancy, a select few has risen from the pack. One of those people is Inky. Inky, formerly known as Inky React, is a TikToker who rose to fame during quarantine through the means of Fortnite. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you do. I just have to perform his claim to fame, so just give me a second. Sorry, just grabbing something here. Man, that shit looked like the battle pass. Alright, so now that you guys know who I'm talking about, and if you don't, you just don't use the app enough, we could start with this video.
Jet tripping. How you get a chug splash out the trash?
Gas prices really that bad, huh? That we have to put chug splashes in our vehicles in order to get from place to place. That might be the most dystopian thing I've ever thought of in my entire life. I mean, also, that's not a chug splash. That's someone who had a bad case of dysentery and a worse case of blue Takis just releasing all of their bodily fluid into the trash can in a gas station. I mean, I'm sure if you could drink that, you would give you little more than 20 health. You might be able to fly, jump around like those crystals in the fucking Dusty Depot back in the day. I mean, the things you can do with that liquid are unimaginable.
Would you fight me for a year of free gas?
Around with that foreign love.
Cocaine or slang. I beat the shit out of Jet for the battle pass.
I've never seen a man more dedicated to the game of Fortnite. The headset, the controller, the slow pullback. I mean, if that isn't cinema, I don't know what is. Although I would love to see it. This big ass guy fighting Inky for just the battle pass. Inky throws a couple of jabs, a few hooks, maybe an uppercut, but it's no match for the equivalent of seeing a John Wick in Season 3. If you remember what I'm talking about, those motherfuckers were flying all over the map. You couldn't touch them. I could see the headline now, just right up here. Popular TikToker Inky gets his head smashed in for the battle pass in popular game Fortnite. That's a newspaper that I would read. That's a headline that I'd go, yes, I want to read that newspaper.
Fortnite just added 3 new movement mechanics in today's update, including tactical sprint to sprint faster until your sprint meter runs out. Also shoulder bashing to open up doors and mantling to climb up walls, similar to Apex Legends, and the default sprinting speed has been increased.
I don't think anyone has as much unbridled hatred for anything as Inky for Apex Legends. The fact that he just cuts off the other guy for like 1/3 of the TikTok just to say Apex Legends is just the funniest thing. Like, he was on board with the changes until he heard Apex Legends. Like, imagine if that's how bills were passed or like ideas were created in like the government. You know, someone's like, hey, we're gonna open a park, you know, with trees. Okay, good. Fields to run and play. Gazebos to sit in, have like a picnic, and frisbee golf. And then someone gets up and goes, frisbee golf? I fucking hate frisbee golf. We shouldn't do frisbee golf. Just ruins the whole mood, even though like you were on board with everything beforehand. That would be awesome, actually. That's how we should run our government.
The way that people are using simp now, everyone's a simp. Like, literally everybody's a simp, but like...
Not me. The fuck?
Inky, come on, man. We both know this isn't true. If anyone has a shrine for the lifeguard skin in Fortnite, it would be you, man. Although I appreciate how stern he is on his stance of how big of a simp that he is. Not only does he deny it, he shows like his outrage of just even being put in the conversation with the smoothest the fuck like like I've ever heard in my entire life. You know, as he stares out into the sunset, looking over all of us simps, as he sits there going, I've never once looked at a woman and gone, I like her. I'm so dedicated to the game of Fortnite. You think I have time for women? The fuck?
I'm built different.
You ain't built different. You tripping. This ain't Greasy Grove.
First of all, someone has to create a restaurant named Greasy Grove. They sell Baja Blast and just name it Slurp Juice. Like, that would be, every like 8-year-old kid would go to that. and get morbidly obese, yes, but it would be great for profits. But back to the point at hand, that might be the most impressive like feat of man I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, and I've seen someone eat Arby's and not like want to kill themselves. Like, to put your hand in grease and take it out and then just throw them on, like you're not hurt, your fingers aren't burned. That's so impressive. Like, what, you're the spawn of Satan, something like that? You drank a fire resistance potion before putting your hand in it? I mean, there's a reason why humanity decided to invent spoons in order to evolve. They were like, yeah, we need spoons in order to get to houses. And you just skip that part. You're like, nah, you use a blaze rod, a tear of gas, and I just have a fire resistance potion. I'll be fine.
Do for a living?
Bitch, I'm 93.
93?
She lucky this ain't GTA. Calling somebody a bitch.
Inky, let me get this straight. Did you just admit to wanting to either steal this woman's car or just flat out beat the daylights out of her because she called you a bitch? But, you were stopped, of course, because you would literally see, like, life in prison if you carried out those acts. I mean, look, I can't speak for everyone. I certainly won't. But anytime someone calls me a bitch, especially a 93-year-old lady, my first thought isn't, thank God it isn't GTA, or I would have just beat the living shit out of this woman. It's more like, that wasn't very nice to say. Or like, maybe, I go like, oh yeah, you're the bitch. But I wouldn't be like, God, you're so lucky I can't steal your car legally, or I would do it and just drive away. You're lucky that there isn't stars like GTA and I can just run into a convenience store and then have them go away and then just take your car. Anyways, that's all, folks. Hope you had a great day. And remember, don't beat the shit out of an old lady because she called you a bitch. Like, that's just not cool. Not very cash money of you if you were to do that. Like, just chill out, breathe, have a Klondike bar, or maybe a Mento, all right? Maybe go to Greasy Grove restaurant. Whatever you need to do to chill out. Just don't hit old ladies. All right, love you guys. Bye. Bye.